In a small town in Cameroon, nestled amidst rolling hills and verdant landscapes, there was a village named Mbengui. The villagers were known for their warmth and hospitality. Life in Mbengui was simple, yet filled with the vibrant colors of African culture. The villagers often gathered under the great baobab tree to share stories, wisdom, and laughter. In this village lived a young couple, Miracle and Joseph, who had been blessed with the birth of their first child, a baby boy named Junior. The day Junior was born at the Baptist hospital, the entire village rejoiced. Drums were beaten, songs were sung, and the elders blessed the newborn with prayers for a prosperous life. Miracle and Joseph were overwhelmed with joy, believing that their son was destined for greatness. 3 days after Junior's birth, something unimaginable occurred. Miracle had been resting in her hospital bed, with Junior sleeping peacefully beside her. In the early hours of the morning, when the hospital was quiet, a woman dressed as a nurse entered the room. She smiled reassuringly at Miracle and said she needed to take Junior for a routine checkup. Groggy from fatigue, Miracle handed over her baby, trusting the nurse's uniform. But as soon as the woman left the room, an uneasy feeling washed over her. She tried to shake it off, telling herself it was just the exhaustion playing tricks on her mind. Hours passed, and when Junior had not been returned, Miracle's unease turned into panic. She alerted the hospital staff, who immediately launched a search, but the mysterious woman and the baby were nowhere to be found. News of the missing baby spread like wildfire through Mbengui. The joyous village was plunged into despair. The elders gathered in the chief's compound, consulting the ancestors for guidance. The women wept openly, while the men vowed to search every corner of the land to find the missing child. Joseph, devastated by the disappearance of his son, led search parties through the forests, rivers, and nearby towns. Miracle, too, refused to rest, her heart aching with every passing hour. The villagers joined forces, determined to bring Junior back home. Unbeknownst to the villagers, the woman who had taken Junior was not a stranger to Mbengui. Her name was Nkechi, and she was a childless woman who had long envied Miracle and Joseph's happiness. Nkechi had lied to her husband, who was working abroad, claiming she was pregnant. Desperate to keep up the charade, she had stolen Junior to pass him off as her own child. Nkechi fled to a nearby town, Yaoundé, where she hid with Junior in a small apartment. But the guilt of her actions weighed heavily on her. She could not sleep, haunted by the cries of the baby she had stolen and the lies she had told. Back in Mbengui, the villagers did not give up hope. They organized prayer vigils, and the local radio station broadcasted the news of the missing baby, urging anyone with information to come forward. The story of Junior's disappearance spread across Cameroon, reaching even the ears of those in faraway towns. One day, a young man from Yaoundé, who had heard the radio broadcast, noticed a woman with a baby matching Junior's description. The woman seemed nervous and avoided eye contact with others. His suspicions were aroused, and he decided to discreetly follow her. The young man followed Nkechi to a small pharmacy where she went to buy baby supplies. He observed her closely, noticing the way she held the baby as if she was afraid someone would take him away. Certain that something was amiss, he reported his suspicions to the local authorities. The police acted quickly, and upon investigating Nkechi's apartment, they found Junior. The officers were shocked when they realized that this was the baby who had been stolen from Mbengui 3 days earlier. Nkechi was arrested, and Junior was placed under the care of social services until his parents could be contacted. When the news reached Mbengui that Junior had been found, the entire village erupted in celebration. Joseph and Miracle could hardly believe their ears. With tears of joy streaming down their faces, they rushed to Yaoundé to be reunited with their son. The moment Miracle held Junior in her arms again, she wept openly, thanking the ancestors for watching over her child. Joseph, too, was overwhelmed with emotion as he kissed his son's forehead, vowing never to let him out of his sight again. Nkechi was brought before the village elders to answer for her crimes. The villagers, though angry, were also saddened by the circumstances that had driven her to commit such a heinous act. The elders deliberated long and hard, seeking wisdom from the ancestors on how to proceed. In the end, they decided that Nkechi should be banished from Mbengui, but they also urged the villagers to show compassion. The chief reminded them that while justice was necessary, so too was forgiveness. Nkechi's husband, who had returned from abroad, was devastated by the truth and chose to start a new life elsewhere. With Junior back home, life in Bengwi slowly returned to normal. The village, having endured such a trial, grew even closer as a community. Joseph and Miracle were more protective of their son than ever, but they also cherished every moment with him, knowing how close they had come to losing him. Junior, as he grew older, was told the story of his miraculous return. The villagers often gathered to tell the tale of how the baby who was stolen at birth was found in a faraway town. It became a legend in Bengwi, a story passed down through generations as a reminder of the power of community and the importance of hope. As with all African folktales, the story of Junior's journey carried a moral. The elders would conclude the tale with a message to the younger generation: no matter how dark the night may seem, the dawn will always come. Trust in the strength of family, the support of your community, and the guidance of the ancestors. For even in the face of the greatest challenges, hope and perseverance will light the way. And so, the story of Junior, the baby who was stolen at birth, became a cherished part of Bengwi's rich cultural heritage, a tale of loss, love, and the triumph of good over evil, passed down from generation to generation in the heart of Cameroon. Years passed, and Junior grew into a strong and wise young man. His life was a testament to the love and resilience of his parents and the entire community. The story of his disappearance and miraculous return became a defining part of his identity, shaping him into a person of great compassion and humility. Junior's story continued to inspire the people of Bengwi, and as he came of age, he embraced the responsibility of carrying forward the lessons he had learned. He often sat with the elders under the great baobab tree, listening to their wisdom and sharing his own insights with the younger generation. The tale of his journey was no longer just a story of tragedy and triumph. It had evolved into a guiding light for the community, a reminder of the strength found in unity and the importance of looking out for one another. As Junior entered adulthood, the people of Bengwi saw in him the qualities of a leader. He was known for his kindness, his sense of justice, and his ability to bring people together. The village elders, recognizing his potential, began to groom him for a future role in the community's leadership. Junior, however, was hesitant. He carried the weight of his story and the expectations of those around him with humility, often wondering if he was truly meant to lead. He sought guidance from the ancestors, spending nights in meditation and prayer, seeking clarity. One night, in a dream, the spirit of his grandfather appeared to him. The old man, a revered figure in the village's history, spoke to Junior with wisdom and love. "My son," he said, "your journey has been extraordinary, but it is not yet complete. You were brought back to this village for a reason. Your story has touched many lives, but now it is time for you to create new stories, to lead with the heart that has been shaped by both sorrow and joy. The ancestors have chosen you to guide this community into the future. Accept this calling with courage and grace." When Junior awoke, he felt a deep sense of peace. He knew that his grandfather's words were true, and he was ready to step into the role that had been destined for him. Junior's journey into leadership was marked by the same humility and compassion that had defined his life. He worked tirelessly to improve the lives of the people in Bengwi, ensuring that the village remained a place of peace and prosperity. Under his guidance, the village flourished. He introduced new farming techniques that increased crop yields, built schools to educate the children, and established healthcare centers to ensure that no family would ever have to suffer the pain his parents had endured when he was stolen. Junior's leadership extended beyond the borders of Bengwi. His reputation as a wise and just leader spread throughout the region, and neighboring villages often sought his counsel. He became known as the Chief of Hearts, a title that reflected his deep connection to the people he served. As the years went by, Junior married and started a family of his own. His children grew up hearing the story of their father's miraculous return and the lessons that had come from it. They, too, were raised with the values of community, love, and resilience, continuing the legacy that had been passed down through the generations. The tale of Junior's journey remained a cherished part of Bengwi's cultural heritage. Every year, on the anniversary of his return, the village held a festival in his honor. The streets were filled with music, dance, and storytelling, as the villagers celebrated not just Junior's life, but the strength and unity that had brought him back. Junior, now an elder himself, would sit among the people, watching as the younger generation learned the story that had shaped his life. He knew that his time as a leader would one day come to an end, but he was content in the knowledge that the circle of life would continue unbroken, with new leaders rising to guide the village forward. As Junior neared the end of his life, he gathered the village together one last time. Under the shade of the great baobab tree, he spoke to them with the wisdom of a life well lived. "My people," he began, "I have walked a path that was set before me by the ancestors, and it has been a journey filled with both challenges and blessings. The story of my life is not just mine, it belongs to all of you, for you were the ones who brought me back, who nurtured me, and who stood by me as I grew." He paused, looking out at the faces of the villagers, young and old, who had come to listen to his final words. "Remember this, our strength lies in our unity. No matter what trials we may face, we must always stand together, for it is in each other that we find our greatest strength. Let the story of my journey be a reminder that no matter how lost we may become, we can always find our way back, with the help of those who love us." With these words, Junior passed on the mantle of leadership to the next generation, confident that they would carry forward the lessons of his life. The villagers honored him with songs and stories, ensuring that his legacy would live on in the hearts of those who followed. And so, the story of Junior, the baby who was stolen at birth, became a timeless tale in Bengwi, a story of hope, love, and the enduring power of community, passed down through the ages as a beacon of light for all who heard it.